are lobbying for new laws to keep children off of MySpace, Facebook, and other social networking sites because the sites say that age verification tools don't really exist. They all, though, claim that they are still kicking off all the predators they can find on their site. So should social networking be regulated, or is this a case of government gone wild? With us now, Richard Blumenthal, Connecticut Attorney General, and Christine Hall, Director of the Control Abuse of Power Project at the Competitive Enterprise Institute. Attorney General Blumenthal, let me begin with you. This is a tough issue. You don't want to have predators or pedophiles or whatever it may be, harassment and stalking on these social networking sites, but you don't want to violate people's rights to privacy or free expression either. So what do you want changed?
What we want is for these social networking sites, MySpace, Facebook, Xanga, Friendster, not just Facebook or MySpace, to really police themselves. Not for government to be heavy-handed or interventionist, violating anyone's privacy, but for the social networking sites to verify age and identity and provide parents with the right to consent if there are children involved. Parents will always be, should be, I say as a parent, the first and last line of defense and responsibility, but there are predators, and the convicted sex offenders that have been revealed, 29,000 of them, believe it or not, 29,000 on MySpace alone.
29,000 convicted pedophiles, may I use that word, on MySpace?
Convicted sex offenders, which includes pedophiles, on MySpace alone, and they are now presumably off MySpace, but they are just the tip of the predator problem, because think of all the others who either haven't been convicted or are using aliases and other false names. And what we want is for MySpace to implement a system. MySpace says we can't do it technologically, it's impossible, but we say if we can put a man on the moon, we can implement a system of age and identity verification and parental consent.
Christine, I have to say, you know, I often watch To Catch a Predator here on NBC and MSNBC, and I find it absolutely riveting every time just how shocking it is that this behavior goes on, that these people who are engaged in it, at least physically, appear to be normal. That's my feeling, and the fact that we could have 29,000 convicted sex offenders having been registered on MySpace, it's shocking. And certainly I don't think anyone would say it's acceptable.
Oh, it's not acceptable at all, and I think it's something that should concern parents and something that they should, you know, talk about with their kids and educate their children about what is appropriate and what is safe online activities and what's not just on MySpace or Facebook or any social networking site, but really anywhere on the internet.
So, Christine, I mean, would you support what Attorney General Blumenthal is saying, which is we've got to have controls here, some way to verify that people are who they say they are, because I mean, I have nieces and nephews who are young. You can tell them to try to watch what they're doing online, but honestly, they're so innocent they could be taken advantage of, and they wouldn't even know it.
Well, I think the problem with many state attorneys general is that they're sort of like hammers, and they see many problems as nails. So oftentimes their solutions, as in this case, is for some sort of government regulation or government oversight or controls. And unfortunately, I don't think that that is really going to protect kids from online predators. I think, again, you know, parents have to really get involved and, you know, ask your kids, do you have a MySpace profile? Do you have a Facebook profile? Ask them who their friends are. Tell them, you know, have a look at their profiles. Even join MySpace or Facebook themselves and become a friend to their children. That's what I've done with one of my young cousins.
All right. I mean, I can hear you, although I can imagine that would not be, teens wouldn't be thrilled with that. Attorney General Blumenthal, literally 30 seconds.
I've just said we want to avoid government intervention or regulation. We want MySpace and the other social networking sites to do it themselves. But let's keep in mind, we're talking about law enforcement here. We're talking about criminal assaults and other criminal wrongdoing against children that emanates from contacts on MySpace and probably other social network sites. We want to give parents the power, empower them to stop this kind of abusive criminal conduct. It's not theoretical. We're not asking for government invasion of privacy. We want the social networking sites to do it themselves.
All right, well, thank you very much. You know, this is a discussion I think we should definitely continue. We will do that. Thanks to both of you, and we'll be back in a moment.